Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is reported that Darryl Dawkins, former NBA basketball player for the Philadelphia 76ers, has died at the age of 58 on the date of August 27th, which is the 239th day of the year. The first two details that stand out to me about this death are his age of 58, a number that's getting coded heavily right now into tragedies, and also that he died on the 239th day of the year, a day we've been looking at for a while because of its connection to September 23rd. Throughout the year, the number 239 has been coded, and very recently, in the last few weeks, the number 58 has been coded heavily, and then here he dies at this age on this date. And also, making matters more interesting, he played for Philadelphia, a city that's of much focus right now. Earlier this year, there was the Philadelphia train wreck on May 12th at 9:23 p.m. 9:23 foreshadows the date of September 23rd, just like the number 239. With regards to the number 58, it has the number 58, it has gematria that corresponds with the word destruction. And in so many of these stories where 58 is coded, it's about death and destruction. Two of the major Chinese explosions had this number coded all over it. Murder stories in the media have had this number coded over it, including the recent Roanoke TV crew Virginia shooting hoax. The word destruction also has Pythagorean gematria of 49, just like the word revelation. And Philadelphia, where Darryl Dawkins played basketball, is a name that comes from Revelation, the final book of the Bible. Philadelphia is one of 7 churches in Revelation. Now let us look at the other numbers in Darryl Dawkins. There's a lot here that's suspicious, so stay with us. I'm going to show you how well he syncs up with the Pope's upcoming visit. I think his death is a forewarning for what's coming while the Pope's here. Notice the name Darryl has gematria of 33 and Dawkins 28. These are both special numbers connected to God. Notice that God has a Jewish gematria of 61. 33 plus 28 sums to 61, the name Darryl Dawkins. Also, God in English gematria sums to 156. Both the words 33 and 28 have gematria of 156 as well. Numbers that are often coded into monumental things. The World Trade Centers existed for 33 years from 68 to 2001. They were open from 28 years from 73 to 2001. In the recent Boston Marathon bombing, the worst act of domestic terrorism since 9/11, the people blamed were the Sarnov brothers. One had a life number of 33, the other a life number of 28. And aside from those two incidents, the numbers get coded together a lot, as I reveal on this blog. Also, his initials DD, D's the fourth letter, so DD is 44, which forms the kill number, 44. Pope Francis is coming to visit the 44th president, Barack Hussein Obama. The last president to die in office was JFK, the 44th term president. A lot of people go, what are you talking about, 44th term? Term is not the number of president. Some presidents served 2 terms. In the past, some presidents have served 3 terms. JFK was the 44th term president. He was the 35th president. The word Catholic equals 35. JFK was the only Catholic president. JFK had all sorts of numbers coded over him. Anyhow, as I always say in these celebrity deaths, it's just such a perfect pattern. They always die on days that correspond with the numerology of their birthday. Darryl Dawkins was born January 11th, 1957, a date with 25 numerology. He died August 27th, 2015, a day with 25 numerology. His day of death corresponds with his name. Darryl Dawkins equals 70 with the S exception. Some other interesting numbers we see here. He wore the number 53, a number that corresponds with religion. The word religion has gematria 53. We're having a religious visit from the Pope here pretty soon. Also recall that train that crashed in Philadelphia at 9:23 p.m. was heading to New York, which has gematria of 111. Darryl Dawkins born on 111. They called him Chocolate Thunder for breaking backboards. They say he died of a heart attack unexpectedly. And the reporting on him, they're making a big deal about how he was remembered for breaking backboards. The first time he ever broke a backboard, Truth Seeker, was November 13th, 1979. This is a date with 122 numerology. This is interesting because he broke it in Kansas City back when the Kings were in Kansas City, not in Sacramento. Kansas City has gematria of 122, as does the word Pope Francis, as does the phrase train wreck. I'll just show you here real quick. Remember, we had that Philadelphia train wreck at 9:23 p.m. Darryl Dawkins played basketball in Philadelphia. Also, the year he broke it in, Truth Seeker, 79, that's the first time in the history of the country that the Pope from the Vatican visited the United States. It was Pope John Paul II, who replaced the 33-day Pope, who was murdered on a day with 44 numerology, who died unexpectedly, just like Darryl Dawkins. It doesn't technically say that the 33-day Pope was murdered, but it's very obvious he was. The Vatican even covered up an investigation. Isn't it amazing to think that something like that stays in power, that murders people, covers it up, does it all in front of everybody's face, doesn't make any excuses about it, but then just gets to go on as if nothing happened? It's because the Pope, the Catholic Church, it's the real mafia of this world. The Vatican sent Christopher Columbus, CC 33, over here to discover this nation. The genocide was probably waged on behalf of the Catholic Church. Religion is the plague of this world. Christians worship on Sunday when in the Bible it clearly says worship on Saturday. The reason that's so is because the Vatican made it that way. Throughout history, it was punishable for Christians to worship on Saturday. Rules all made by the gang over history. Rules that we're all suffering from today. Anyhow, what I'm showing you here is the shooting up of the premiere of the movie Trainwreck, which stars LeBron James, a basketball player. The person who shot up the movie Trainwreck is named John Russell Hauser, Truth Seeker. I'll just type it here in case you don't trust my math. John Russell Hauser has name gematria of 239. This is the guy who shot up Trainwreck, starring LeBron James. LeBron James, Jewish name gematria of 923. Two names foreshadowing September 23rd. Think about LeBron James, the basketball player, being used to foreshadow a coming tragedy, which he is in the movie Trainwreck. And now think about the death of Darryl Dawkins, another basketball player, being used to foreshadow the same thing. This is what I've been showing all this time, but the more we look at these deaths, the more we do this research, the more clear the picture becomes. And it becomes more clear who the parties are that are responsible. Darryl Dawkins died because of his life numbers, because of the day he was born on, and probably because he is known for destroying backboards. Like I say in all these videos, this sick stuff is going to go on until the day we stop these people. We got to stop feeling so powerless. These people who do this, they're like the old man in The Wizard of Oz, behind the curtain, hoping no one will expose them. Well, I myself have exposed them better than anybody on the history of this planet before me. But I need more people out there to help spread this knowledge and do what I'm doing. All the truth channels that subscribe to my channel but never replicate any of my work, I don't understand that. The information I'm putting out, it's unprecedented. It's super important. You all can learn these skills and replicate this. There was a time when I didn't know about any of this. I didn't have a clue. But you practice, you study, you figure out how to do it, Truth Seeker. This is some really sick stuff. R.I.P. Darryl Dawkins, unless you faked your death. But I really don't think he did. Also, Truth Seeker, I'll point out this. The Philadelphia 76ers playing in these rigged Zionist Jew leagues ran by the numbers, just like these people die by the numbers. The Philadelphia 76ers went to the NBA Finals in the 76-77 season against the Portland Trail Blazers in Oregon, the 33rd state. They lost to the Blazers in the NBA Finals that year, but just think about it. The 76ers going to the finals in the 76-77 season. Anyway, I bring that up because a lot of Blazers dropped dead of heart attacks out of nowhere last year too. I bring that up because destruction has been foreshadowed for the Pacific Northwest. So perhaps those Blazer deaths from the last year are also connected to this and also clues. Be worth going back and looking at. All right, Truth Seeker, until next time.